This podcast is brought to you by Body Armor. DrinkBodyArmor.com. Only you can be better. You're listening to EPPN's Today with DW, the Sports Edition.
James Harden wouldn't go to the game wearing outdated fashion, so why would he choose an outdated sports drink?
I wouldn't.
He wouldn't. This is Body Armor. More natural, more electrolytes, better sports drink. Thanks, Gatorade. We'll take it from here.
That's what you have here tonight, boys. That's what you've earned here tonight. One game. If we played them 10 times, they might win 9. But not this game. Not tonight. Tonight, we skate with them. Tonight, we stay with them. And we shut them down because we can. Tonight, we are the greatest hockey team in the world. You were born to be hockey players. Every one of you. And you were meant to be here tonight. This is your time. Their time is done. It's over. I'm sick and tired of hearing about what a great hockey team the Soviets have. Screw them. This is your time. Now go out there and take it.
Welcome, everybody, to the Tuesday night sports edition of Today with DW. Yes, it gives you the feels, does it? I'll tell
Absolutely.
you what.
There's nothing that's going to get you more hyped than Kurt Russell giving a pregame speech as Herb Brooks. That one specifically.
Well, welcome everyone to that moment of that little feels moment. Just a little bit of intro. We're doing something a little different tonight on the sports edition. We reached out to the fans and actually put out a question. And yeah, there will be a poll part of the question. I'm sure Hank's going to really love this one, but it's going to be the top 20 best sports movies categorized 1 through 20. But I did put a poll out there through Instagram and through our Facebook page, Today with DW Show podcast page. What is your favorite sports movie coach? We got a bunch of answers, and we'll go through that towards the end of the show or in the middle of the show or whatnot. But the fans did reach out through the Instagram page and Facebook. So I thought it'd be fitting to kind of start the show with a inspirational speech. As we know that big happenings in the NFL. I think we might have even called one of these happenings. We might have called this a couple of weeks ago. Hank didn't agree, but I think Tom and I kind of agreed what was going to happen with this particular coach. But it gives you a little bit of insight, and we're going to go further in that. But right off the bat, before we get into the show, Bill Belichick back in the news. Obviously, we don't talk politics here, but it does cross over. And I think this might be the first award or honor or medal that Bill Belichick pretty much said F you on and said, no, I'm not taking it. If you're not aware, Donald Trump has been giving out awards for particular people, some people believe that he shouldn't have been given those awards out to. But he awarded Bill Belichick, he wanted to award Bill Belichick one of these prestigious awards. And it's the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Now, to give you guys a little bit of a background here, Bill Belichick is a personal friend of Donald Trump. That has been stated numerous times. He even wrote a letter when he first came into presidency, wishing him well. And he has had dinner with him, and he has publicly stated I think he's publicly stated he was a friend of Donald Trump. I'm not sure if he still is. But if you're not aware, New England Patriots head coach Bill Belichick, who had been expected to receive the Presidential Medal of Freedom later this week, has instead declined the honor, citing last week's violence at the Capitol. Recently, I was offered the opportunity to receive, this is from Belichick himself. Recently, I was offered the opportunity to receive the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which I was flattered by out of respect for what the honor represents and admiration for prior recipients. Six-time Super Bowl legend and early Trump supporter said in a statement reported by the National Football League late Monday. Subsequently, the tragic events of last week occurred, and the decision has been made to not move forward with the award. Now, this is based off of Belichick. Nobody pressured him in any of this. Above all, I'm an American citizen with great reverence for our nation's values, freedom, and democracy. I know I also represent my family and the New England Patriots team, as he stated more. The president announced that he would give Belichick the nation's highest civil honor this week, days after Trump supporters stormed into the Capitol building in Washington. Now, we're not going to get into any of that. That's not what this is about. We won't get into that. This is just part of the outcome. Belichick and the president have known each other for years, as I stated before. Trump at a rally before his 2016 election victory even read a letter of praise from the New England head coach. Belichick's decision to decline the honor at the White House is yet another blow to inclusively isolate Trump, who has seen a wave of top advertisers leave in recent days, also citing the violence. The president's office did not immediately respond to the coach's announcement. In a statement, Belichick said that one of the most rewarding experiences in his 46 years with the NFL, 21 with the Patriots, was when the team began openly discussing and addressing inequality and social justice issues this season, which is pretty great by Belichick stating that. And obviously, I'm sure other teams have done that as well since the last couple of years of what's going on. Continuing those efforts while remaining true to the people, team, and country I love outweigh the benefits of any individual award, he said. Speaking on CNN Monday, Massachusetts Democrat Republican Jim McGovern also called for Belichick to decline the award. Now, he already did this after the fact. Now, people have stated that he should be doing the right thing, but the three of us here kind of know that Belichick goes by his own rules. Nobody's going to tell him what to do. And I'd probably even say even the owner of the Patriots can't tell Belichick what to do. So
he's also been friends with Jim Brown forever.
Yes.
So, I mean, and that's the whole thing, with the whole rights movement and everything else back in the day when he was part of it. Bill Belichick was part of that. So he's always had his hands in something where it's for equality, and there's nothing wrong with it. But I think that with everything that was going on, kind of opened the light, for him, has opened his eyes, so to speak.
Yeah, I think Belichick's taken a beating enough this year with how the Pats were doing that he probably didn't want to take another beating by accepting a medal from Donald Trump. Belichick, the Pats have been under fire. Do you want to go under political fire too? That would kind of, probably make 2020 even worse for him.
So I'm wondering, and obviously we only know Bill from what he represents on press releases and press conferences, and we see him on the field. If the incident didn't happen last week, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that he probably still would not accept this award. I think there's other things that were going on with this that, as he said, he was once a Trump supporter. He is no longer a supporter. It seems right there in the article and other articles that he is not supporting him. So obviously this incident that happened last week is definitely very tragic and very concerning. But even if it didn't happen, I don't think it's about the backlash. I think he personally feels in him morals that no, this is not right for me to take this, and I will never accept such an award.
Probably. I mean, it's not far-fetched to say. I mean, I'd imagine that he just didn't, and I feel like this is such a weird award to be giving to just a football coach, a coach in the NFL, like
Yeah. It almost felt like Trump's attempt to be like win the people over again. First off, you better pick a better team.
Why would you give it to the most hated team in America?
I was just gonna say, minus the Cowboys, you might be better off giving it to the Jets, even though that they've been losing their ass all season. That might be better off.
Exactly. Exactly. That's crazy.
Anyway.
Absolutely crazy.
But like I said, we try not to do too many things about politics here, obviously, because of this sports edition. But this, hey, you know what? This definitely made a huge impact. Yeah, definitely crossed.
Oh yeah.
So everybody, welcome to the sports edition. Mr. Tom Greer from Grindhouse Radio.
Hello.
And Mr. Hank Snacks Pelton, owner, president of the Green Jackets football team, and manager of our sponsor, Chase Sports Complex. What's going on?
Yeah. Not much, just living the dream.
Yeah, living the dream. You must be busy because I haven't had one text message from you all week.
It's been nuts down there, because we're doing the expansion down at the end where we're putting the volleyball court in, and we got the Oculus gaming system.
Awesome.
And we have two of them. We have them for they actually have the virtual softball and baseball that you can set up in there, and the girls can actually do their hitting. We can do their hitting. It's almost.
That sounds so awesome.
It shows you the yardage and how far it goes and everything else. It's all.
I'll be
virtual.
over tomorrow. I'll be over tomorrow.
Cool.
I'll be over tomorrow to check it out. No,
that's something that we're putting to it. Yeah.
Now, is that part of like a package where they can do virtual training with the Oculus and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, we have Brittany that does training over there, Ryan Davis, and we've got a couple other girls, Grace and Allie, that are starting to do. We're starting to get more of the younger girls to start learning how to do the instructional stuff like that. But what we'll do is it'll be basically showing them, because it's got a God, I can't even think of the item that goes on the bat. It goes on the end of the bat. So as they swing, it shows you the motion of the bat and everything.
Oh, that's so cool.
It tells you what you're doing. So it's an instructional thing. So it's basically like a lesson. You have an hour lesson. It's $40. I think we're doing $50 an hour with the Oculus so that it helps you with your hitting.
That's
cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then we're looking at a thing called Rapsodo, which is basically like you could actually have tournaments, home run derbies, and things like that. A lot of the Division I schools are going to it now for their training inside, because a lot of schools are inside.
Oh, very cool.
That sounds
awesome.
amazing. That sounds absolutely amazing. Virtual batting cages just sound amazing.
More reason for Tom to get up here. We couldn't get him up here during the last time, but yes,
exactly.
It's pretty cool. I mean, she put them on my head, and I was walking, and I was sitting there. It was like I was on a virtual vacation.
I'm afraid of the Oculus because I'm prone to motion sickness. Like I've used them before, and it makes me a little nauseous. But I'm so down to try out a virtual batting cage.
I wasn't. I usually I'm not like motion sickness wise, but I don't move well like I used to.
Yeah.
And I was fine with them on. I thought I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna get woozy, and they're pretty cool. I gotta say, it's a pretty cool system.
That's so cool.
I'm just waiting for somebody to punch somebody. You got somebody standing there talking, and you're like,
whack them with a bat. Whack them right in the head with a bat.
Yeah, I know. Crazy.
Awesome. Well, we'll talk more about that later. Obviously, Chase Sports Complex is one of our awesome sponsors, as well as the Shirt Factory and Body Armor. DrinkBodyArmor.com. Visit their website for a location near you. Let's get right into it. As we said, we did talk a little bit before in the intro about our pick of what happened this week. We'll get that towards the end of that. Also today in sports history. Before we take our first break, NFL playoff openers see solid ratings in Nickelodeon's game draws 2 million viewers. Now, I did not know what was going on. I saw this on my Facebook post, so I did not watch the game on Nickelodeon, but from what I hear, it was pretty intense.
It was dope.
Yeah, it was.
The National Football League came out of the gate swinging for its playoff openers, led by Viacom, CBS Sports, and Nickelodeon simulcast, which attracted more than 30 million viewers combined, which is unheard of. Sunday's CBS airing between the New Orleans Saints and Chicago Bears attracted roughly 30 million viewers, and its kids version on Nickelodeon drew approximately 2 million, becoming Nickelodeon's most watched program among total viewers in nearly 4 years. The NFL's attempt to solicit younger viewers drew praise for its Nickelodeon-themed digital effects and commentary on social media. The game saw the Saints beat the Bears 21-9, and even featured Saints coach Sean Payton getting slimed on Nickelodeon in the postgame. Sunday's NBC Sports Pittsburgh Steelers Cleveland Browns contest also averaged 26 million across all platforms and 24.8 million viewers on the NBC, and peaked at 27.6 million views around 9:15 to 9:30. The network said it was television's most watched primetime show since since last year's Super Bowl. Browns defeated the Steelers, which I don't feel was an upset, but we'll get into that as well. 48-37 from the club's first postseason victory since 1995. Way to go, Browns. And it could be the last time longtime quarterback Ben Roethlisberger suits up in a Steelers uniform. Roethlisberger, who threw 4 interceptions in the game, will be a $41 million salary cap hit for the team next season, leading to speculation the Steelers could part ways with the 38-year-old player who turns 39 in March. Brady and Saints quarterback Drew Brees will go head-to-head for the third time this season, as the Saints will host the Bucs this weekend coming up. The duo helped Fox Sports attract over 25 million viewers in the first contest in week 1. Fox said its Saturday's game between Los Angeles Rams and the Seattle Seahawks averaged 23.9 viewers on its channel. ESPN reported 24.8 million viewers for its Baltimore Ravens versus Tennessee Titans. The Disney-owned network aired the game across its ABC and ESPN channels. Now, we'll get into the Nickelodeon, but minus this, these stats are crazy. I mean,
like people love football.
But we didn't see these major stats in the beginning of the season. Now,
Facts.
I figured so I think you know what it is, and I think Hank can say the same, and I think he's even mentioned, for me, I won't watch baseball, but I'll watch playoffs. I'll catch a playoff game because it's a different type of mentality. It's more on the line. Not that the regular season's not important, but now you're in the playoffs, whether it's a wild card game, if you're in the NFL, and you're like, this is really down the line. It's win or lose. This is it. So
totally,
I think the team or the intensity on the field is much more than regular season. What do you think?
Oh, totally. It definitely is.
I think a lot of it's got to do with the teams that are actually playing.
True.
I mean, Cleveland hasn't been in the playoffs in how many years?
Since
1995. Yeah. So, I mean, they're in the playoffs this year, and you've got the Rams are back in the playoffs this year. Tampa Bay's in the playoffs this year. So you've got all these fans that have been just itching to be out there and watch the games. The Bills, look at the Bills.
Right. I
mean, my wife's a Bills fan, and it was like,
did you see that game? It looked like the whole city of Buffalo might have been at that game.
But it was but it's crazy. It's just, that's the thing. And then, the whole thing with Nickelodeon, it was just, you're a whole different genre, or I don't want to say genre. You're attracting a whole different crowd. I mean, kids were watching it. I mean, I actually got a hold of my grandkids to watch the game.
Oh no, it was so cool. The Nickelodeon I watched the whole Saints Bears game. What sucked about that was that it was the Saints Bears, and that game was just terrible. Like, that game sucked. But the best part about it was Nate Burleson and who was the other guy? I know it was Iron Eagle's son. I can't remember his son's name. They both did the commentary with I think she was a TikTok star. And then they had some kid on the sidelines. SpongeBob was in the goalposts. The slime cannons every time somebody scored a touchdown.
Yep.
It was freaking awesome.
The slime lines that they had to show the.
Yeah, I hope that next year when we do this, because they're probably going to do the 6-game slate again between the 2 days. They should definitely have Disney have it on a channel, and the Muppets, and like have Statler and Waldorf do like commentary.
Oh, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. The grumpy old man on the balcony. That would be awesome.
Yeah, just have them do commentary. I think that'd be hilarious.
Having them yell over like when they drop a pass. Hey, nice hands.
Exactly.
That'd be awesome.
I think
Nickelodeon might be setting the trend here. I mean, obviously the numbers don't lie with this. And don't think that Disney already isn't thinking about having their, the Mickey Mouse and Goofy and all their little shenanigans going. I'm sure they're already thinking of something to do with this.
Totally.
I don't think it would be as attractive with Mickey Mouse and all that. I just don't think it would be the same. I mean, the thing with SpongeBob is it's just goofiness. Nickelodeon shows are just all goofy. Ren and Stimpy, all those guys. They haven't even incorporated any of them yet. I think once they do that, and the slime was always a huge thing. I mean, everybody, I wasn't part of my age group, but like my kids, I remember my kids always wanting to watch all these competitions that they had.
Oh yeah,
where you got slimed, and then they had the one where you had to go through like all the different feats that you had to fulfill or whatever, the castle or whatever that thing was.
Oh, Global Guts, or Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Yeah, the Legends of.
Yeah, well, that's what I think was really funny about it, where the two hosts were the two announcers. Yeah, the announcers, Nate Burleson and the other guy that I genuinely can't remember his name. It's pissing me off a little bit. Those two, they were making references to like 90s Nickelodeon shows like Legends of the Hidden Temple, Double Dare, and all this stuff. And the kids that were definitely watching that probably have no idea what any of that is.
And
like,
they'll bring it back.
Yeah, absolutely, they do. But the girl that was sitting in the booth with them was probably like, What are you two grandpas talking about?
I'm sure their YouTube videos that are out there about those shows have probably jumped up in a lot of views too. I'm sure.
Probably. But I think we need more of that stuff. I think that was I thought it was actually like really freaking cool. It just again sucked that it was Bears versus Saints because everybody knew that the Saints were just going to steamroll the Bears. I'm glad the Saints are my second team, so at least I have a team that's going to be somewhat contending in the playoffs. Yeah, I think they're going to get knocked out by the Bucs this week, though. I guess we don't know because the Bucs almost lost to Washington, but I think the Bucs are knocking the Saints out. Oh, we'll see. We'll have to see what happens. I mean, it's at this point, it's up to anybody's game. What do we think about the Bills? Facts? Yeah. What do you think the Bills? The Bill. I mean, I think the Bills could make it a game against if they have to play against the Chiefs at some point. But who they play? They play the Ravens this weekend, right? Yeah, Ravens. That's going to be definitely beat the Ravens. I think they could beat the Ravens. I think their defense can handle the Ravens. We'll see. Ravens are no joke, but we'll see what happens. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. First week of playoffs, pretty interesting. And again, you know what? Something positive in being innovative coming out of COVID. I mean, granted, it was a shorter season. There was a lot of ups and downs, but this Nickelodeon thing and the ratings. I mean, obviously, depending on what state you're in, obviously New York State, we're escalating as far as the counts are concerned. So more people are staying home. Would the viewership be the same if it was at a sports bar? Maybe, maybe not. But again, I think it's being something innovative and they're thinking outside the box. I hope that if, knock on wood, that the COVID releases itself by next football season, that they still kind of do that. I mean, back in the day, we were, what was it? The Puppy Bowl League, all that kind of stuff. It was kind of fun. So, I mean, at least this way, you're going to be targeting. I mean, I do miss the lingerie bowl. I'm sorry. I can't. I mean, I'm that demographic. I'm not necessarily the Nickelodeon demographic, but again, it was just cool. Like, did they actually slime Sean Payton? I missed that part. Like, for real, did they slime him or was it fake? I believe they really slimed him. I didn't check any of the video or any YouTube to see that, but I would not be surprised. Because you had to. You couldn't have a Nickelodeon broadcast and have nobody get slimed. Like you couldn't have that happen. And just like that, I put a piece of tape on Tom. Well, what are you talking about? It's because I said the Bills were gonna beat the Ravens. It's okay. Ravens fan. Right. It's okay. It's how do you you got to feel for the Bills? Like they've like just been mediocre for years. They went to 4 straight Super Bowls at one point, lost all of them. Yeah. Now they're good again. Now it looks like they might have drafted the best quarterback out of that draft in Josh Allen. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. We'll see what happens. What do you think about Tampa Bay? Are we going? They think they can make it all the way? No, I mean I think it's going to be. I think the Super Bowl is going to wind up being. I said I think I said initially it was going to be Kansas City versus the Packers. Yes, but I think it could be. It could very well go Bills Packers. Ooh, could you imagine if it was Bills versus Browns though? Could you imagine? That would be kind of cool. That would be really cool. Just two cursed franchises facing off against each other in the Super Bowl. I feel like that would be really cool. Oh, look at that. My cousin's oldest boy is Trent Murphy of the Bills. Sean Murphy says, nice. That's pretty cool. Awesome. Yeah, I'll see. What are your predictions, Hank? Obviously, it's the Packers, but
I'm going to say the Packers, and I think the Bills are going to get there. I think the Bills are going to beat KC. Yeah.
Boy, that's a tough. Wow. Whew. Just
because the Bills didn't look amazing to start the game last week. I mean, they obviously figured it out, but Kansas City is going to be firing on all cylinders, and they have the best quarterback in all of football in Pat Mahomes. So
it's a different game when you get to the playoffs.
That's true. No,
it's one and done.
That's true, but the Bills haven't been here before. The Bills haven't been,
and
here
I don't think they were.
The Chiefs have. They won it all.
Right, but I think that the Bills were not prepared. I mean, they were prepared, but it's a whole different game for guys that haven't been there before. So you get into that game, now it's a whole different mindset. And like you're right, everybody even agreed. I even agreed with it. They were just not playing like they normally would play. So now they knocked the dust off of their cleats, so to speak, and now they're going to go to the next game, and they're going to give the Ravens a better game.
Now,
I can see that.
do you think experience outweighs passion? Because I've seen some pretty crappy football teams make it in the playoffs and then kick some serious ass because of the experience that they have on how to deal with the pressure. Do you think passion outweighs experience or vice versa here?
Yeah, but you know what? I watched who's the quarterback for the Ravens?
Right now, Lamar Jackson?
Yeah, Lamar Jackson. You know, he made some pretty sketchy throws the other night in that game, but you know, they could have lost that game too.
Oh, totally. No, yeah, it was definitely not.
It's your two quarterbacks.
Yeah.
You know, it's your two leaders that you need. If they're both equal. You know, they can both scramble. I mean, Jackson can scramble better, more than Allen, but Allen runs when he needs to, and he takes that sacrifice when he needs to too.
Totally.
So,
and
I mean, you got two equal quarterbacks. Oh,
what's that, Tom?
Him and Stephon Diggs have been lethal all season.
Right.
Oh, totally.
I mean, that's Jackson threw the ball up that one time, just threw it up in the air and got it intercepted.
I'm with you. I think the Bills could definitely handle the Ravens. Like, I'm not as impressed with the Ravens as I was last year. But you know, and I do think the Bills could take the Chiefs. I mean, I'm not like, if you're making me pick, I'm still going to pick the Chiefs just because of experience. But you know, I could see the Bills beating them. You know, if you were telling me it was going to wind up being Bills Packers, I'd be a little surprised because the Bills haven't been there in forever, but not crazy surprised. I could see it happen. They've been good all year.
Yeah, let's see. I you know what, if passion does it, you know, passion and aggressive, you know, and get the eye of the tiger. They got to, you know, they're excited to be here. I'm sure they didn't expect to be here with the season. Do you think they'd be here if it was a regular full season? That's the other question.
I mean, it was a regular full season.
Yeah, but there was no preseason. What I'm saying is there was no preseason. There was not a lot of practice.
Yeah.
I mean,
the Bills will definitely be there.
I honestly feel that the Patriots, I don't know if they'd make the playoffs, but I think they would have done better if there was actually a preseason practicing. I mean, minus he did get, you know, Cam did get COVID. I'm not making shit ton of excuses, but they were doing great in the beginning and then it just went to shit. You know.
What hurt the Pats was the fact that most of their team, like the Pats didn't have a lot. Like the Pats going into the season had most of their starting defense opt out of the season. Yeah. And then it was Cam Newton and old Julian Edelman and nobody. Like the Pats didn't have anybody. Like they fed Cam to the Wolves with basically no talent, you know? So like, no, the Pats were going to have a hard time regardless of how this season went. You know, like I thought that the Bills were good. The Bills are definitely good and would be, you know, if they'd definitely be where they are right now. If we had like a normal preseason and everything.
Does this show preseason isn't as important as they want us to believe? No, actually just the opposite. I think it's very important that preseason is very important. I really do.
I feel like they're going to they're trying to dwindle down the preseason anyway. Like they're trying to cut games away from it. Like it's just, you know, I don't know.
What do you think?
They added more games over the last 10 years because of money.
Yeah.
They were seeing that they could get revenue from it and they could put people in the stands earlier. So they need to go back to the old ways where they only played like 2 or 3 games.
Yeah.
And then
do you think preseason's important though?
Oh, it's very important because you have to get the guys, especially if you're trying to find players to put in key positions. Because you got to remember, your 11 starters on offense and your 11 starters on defense are not going to be on special teams. So right now you got 22 players. You got to find the other ones for backups, and you got to find those special team players. So you got a player that can come in, that can run down the field and make a tackle, and he's good at it, but he's on a punt return or a punt, and he can also go on kickoff and kick. So those guys are all multi-use weapons. You got to find those guys. You may have somebody, but there might be something better. And if you don't, you're going to find somebody that's a whole ton better.
Well, I kind of agree with you, but I don't necessarily think you need as many preseason games as we initially have, you know, like, especially if the preseason is mostly just to find fill in and depth for your team rather than figuring out where your regular starters are. Cause your regular starters really aren't going to play in the preseason anyway.
Well, unless you're Philly, because Philadelphia does the role reversal. Philadelphia was doing their preseason at the end of the season. Their last game, they were trying out the people to see where they were going to work. They wanted to see if the quarterback that they had in the beginning of the year was going to be worth keeping at the end of the year.
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. But I'm just saying, like, I don't really know how like important a full length like preseason is. Like how it would like equate to however many wins you would have in the regular season. You know, like I don't necessarily think that if the Pats had 4 preseason games, they would have won many more games than they did.
I think it just needs 3. I mean, I think they used to back in the 80s. I think they only did like 3 games. And I think maybe it was a 3 or 4, but now they're getting more of them. And they're just not doing what they're supposed to. The whole thing is you're going to start your starters in the first quarter or the first game and let them play for a quarter or half, and then go the rest of the route and go that way.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And then you're literally the entire time you're crossing your fingers and toes, hoping that whatever star player you have on the field doesn't shred his ACL or something like that. You know,
Right.
That's why I'm not. I mean, I look at the preseason, like cutting the preseason or something like that. I look at that as what Hank said. You'd be giving somebody that's like a fringe player less of an opportunity to make a team. But as far as like getting your starters and your regular everyday players ready, I don't think you need the preseason as much because they don't play anyway.
Not to get your starters ready, but you're trying to find that piece.
Yeah.
You're trying to find that one person that can play like multiple positions.
Your depth. Exactly.
Right.
No, it makes sense. I see both sides. We'll see. I'm sure they're not going to cancel preseason next year anyway. But
look at the Raiders. The Raiders have got the tight end there that was practicing in the practice squad for the Ravens, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah.
Right.
And then all of a sudden they were there watching. They watched him catch a couple balls in warm up, and they're like, "Who the hell's that?" So then they didn't sign him, and they go and pick him up. That kid's a stud.
Yeah, that is like the best tight end in football.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, when we're going to take a short break, when we come back, MLB teams spring training to start on time. A full 162 game season to be played. I know one person on the staff is really excited. Is it really a Steelers upset? Because they kind of sucked already walking into this. And plus, what happened? Some Eagles wings got clipped. All that and more when we return.
Hello, I'm Baker Mayfield.
I'm Anthony Rizzo.
I'm Donovan Mitchell.
I'm Diana Taurasi.
I'm Ryan Blaney.
And I have something to confess.
I had a formidable Beanie Baby collection.
I used to say YOLO a lot.
I paid a lot of money for ringtones.
I had a sick flowing mullet one time.
My Cabbage Patch Kid's name was Dolores.
I used to rock bleached tips.
I used to rank my friends on MySpace.
I rented movies at Blockbuster.
I used to wear jorts. That's right, jean shorts.
I used to drink Gatorade.
Yeah, I used to drink Gatorade.
We all used to drink it.
It was the only sports drink out there.
Now there's Body Armor.
I drink Body Armor now.
I drink Body Armor now.
I'm Team Body Armor now.
What porn site's that from?
I want to tell you something that they don't know.
You screwed me up, Hank.
Life's this game of inches. So is football.
I do.
Because in either game, life or football, the margin for error is so small. I mean, 1/2 a step too late or too early, and you don't quite make it. 1/2 second too slow, too fast, you don't quite catch it. The inches we need are everywhere around us. Hell yeah. They're in every break of the game, every minute, every second. On this team, we fight for that inch. On this team, we tear ourselves and everyone else around us to pieces for that inch. We claw with our fingernails for that inch. Because we know when we add up all those inches, that's going to make the fucking difference between winning and losing. Between living and dying.
Another great movie speech. Al Pacino from Any Given Sunday. Another great football movie. We're going to get into that. As I said earlier in the beginning of the show, I put a little questionnaire out there to our listeners and fans. Who is your favorite movie sports coach? We have our own picks here. I'm sure Hank has his own picks. But our fans did reach out, and we got them both on Facebook and Instagram. I just thought it was fitting to do that, especially with going into football, the playoffs, and just, something fun. And with everything that was going on with COVID and sports this year, I figured it'd be fun to kind of relive that, considering that with no sports, I'm sure a lot of people started watching sports movies again. I mean, I'm sure of it. I'm sure you do not watching any sports. And if you got bored of Korean Korean baseball, you're gonna have to watch something else. But speaking of baseball, this is, I'm sure Tom is excited about this. Ron Manfred, MLB
Wake
team.
me up when you're done.
What's that? Yeah, okay. Sign off, Hank. I'll turn your mic off. Jesus Christ. MLB team should plan for spring training to start on time. Full 162 game season to be played. Rob Manfred informed the clubs Monday that they should be preparing for spring training to start on time in February and to plan on a full 162 game season being played. 3 people with direct knowledge of the conference call told USA Today Sports. So we're getting some leaked news here. Major League Baseball was hoping to delay the season by at least a month to provide more time for players and fans to receive COVID-19 vaccinations, enabling fans to get back into ballparks earlier. But the Major League Baseball Players Association vigorously fought it. MLB does not have the legal right to unilaterally delay the start of the season without approval from the union because of this collective bargaining agreement. And the union made it clear it wouldn't accept anything less than 100% pay for the season. Now, we kind of talked about this in the beginning of the season about how there was going to be some pay structures. I think you called this pretty well in the beginning of the season. While there will continue to be challenges, the union said in a prepared statement to the Athletic last month, our players have proven they can play safely. They can safely play a season under difficult circumstances. The 2020 season was limited to just 60 games, with players receiving only 30% of their salaries. What the frig? While Manfred said teams lost $3 billion. Well, okay. We already feel that the teams and the association wasn't always on the player side, I think, this year. It's unknown when fans will eventually be permitted to attend games, but no team has begun selling spring training tickets. Spring training begins February 17th in Arizona. Oh boy, and that wonderful state, Florida, with opening day scheduled for April 1st. Tom, what's your take on this? I mean, this is good news, or do we think it's a little too early, considering there's a lot of spikes going on right now in many states with COVID?
I mean, I think it's just like, I think they're just saying that now and like just seeing what's going to happen. Like the plan is for them to have a full 162 and hopefully play an entire season with full spring training and stuff like that. But obviously you never know. I mean, like they didn't know that they were going to have to deal with the season they did last year. I think we're going to have more than 60 games. I'll tell you that right now. But I'm happy that they're coming out right now saying that they're hoping to play a full 162 because the Mets just got Francisco Lindor, one of the 5 best players in all of baseball, the best shortstop in baseball, probably the best shortstop in team history, and Carlos Carrasco. So I'm ready for the Mets to win a World Series.
I heard that for the last 2 days.
That's what I am ready for. You, yeah. That because it's major news. This is the biggest deal they made since Mike Piazza.
Yeah, I forgot. Hank's wife is a Mets fan, so I'm sure.
And McKenzie.
Smart. They smart. No, but it's awesome. I mean, like I said, it's no secret that I love baseball. It's like my favorite sport of all time. Like, I am just so happy that they're saying that it's going to be a full 162.
Too early to get your hopes up yet, though. I'm
my hopes they're going to play. It's not like I'm not going to see baseball this year. Like that is going to happen. But I'm just glad that we're starting off from we're going to play a full season. We're not starting where it's like, we don't know what's happening. We got to deal with the players. We got to see what's going to happen with money. Baseball straight out is coming out saying we're playing a full 162. If the players union wants that and they want to get fully paid and Major League Baseball's like, let's do it, then let's go. I mean, like,
but they're gonna still have players that are probably gonna opt out. I don't know if that's gonna be
probably. I mean, I'm sure they will
in their contracts where they're gonna opt out of it. But I think that they're gonna take what they've learned from the season that they just got through.
Yeah, and
they've added protocols to it to what they've already got set up now. They've got the time now to add things to it to make it even safer.
Oh, so, totally. And like that's the thing. Like baseball wasn't like clean the entire time. Like they did have a couple of outbreaks. Like the Cardinals had it, the Marlins had it. I know the Mets had a few cases, but I mean, I think they could take everything. Like you said, they could take everything that they learned from last season and spread it over 162. Like there's probably going to be some hiccups because it's a 162 game season. That's just so many games and you're playing every single day. Maybe they'll have to restructure how the schedules work out, like how with like travel and stuff like that, like how hockey's doing. Like hockey's keeping basically all your travel on your side of the country for the most part. I believe like it's not going to be that far. They just did a restructure of all the divisions and conferences. So maybe baseball will do that. I don't know, but I'm just excited. I want baseball season to be here so bad.
I think what they're going to do too is they're going to have a lot of their minor league guys ready to come up and fill slots if something happens, like who's next in line, like a depth chart.
Well, that's what they were doing last season.
Yeah.
They didn't have a minor leagues. They just had a alternate site. So they had like I think for the Mets it was Brooklyn. It might have been the Cyclones' home stadium, but they had an alternate site where they would have their high-ranking minor league players in case there was any need to drive them up to the major league squad to fill a spot.
Right.
Yeah,
And those will be the guys that'll bubble up so that they don't have anything bringing it to the team.
Oh,
they'll
totally.
bubble up somewhere, and then that way, if they need them, in case somebody comes down with it, they test positive, they'll bring them in.
Yeah, and it's cool. And I think the Mets right now actually announced today that they're going to be they're opening up Citi Field to be like a testing site, or not a testing site, a vaccine site. So they're going to let in like 2,000 to 5,000 people just come in and get shot up with the COVID vaccine, because they're hoping to maybe get people in the stands. Like if the vaccine gets to enough people, you theoretically could have people back in ballparks. And I mean, who doesn't want that? Like, I'm dying to go to Citi Field. I miss Citi Field. I wanted to see the Met game.
Maybe we'll go with you.
Francisco Lindor's a New York Met. I need to see Lindor in person.
Maybe we can get Hank to go, but Hank's got to bring his wife, because if he goes to a game and he doesn't bring his wife, he's in deep shit.
Oh, if I don't bring Mackenzie and my wife, I'm going to be in deep shit.
We'll have to make a weekend of it. We'll come down to you, Tom, and we'll watch the game.
Totally.
I think that'll be fun. Let's bring it back into football. Really, I don't. This is not a stunning upset. What? They suck at the end of the season. There hasn't been a team in NFL history that has suffered more postseason ignominy than the Cleveland Browns. I don't know. Just freaking the Steelers. What the hell? There was the red right 88 interception thrown by Brian Sipe in the 1980 playoffs against the Oakland Raiders. The drive by John Elway in the Denver Broncos in 1986 AFC Championship game, and the fumble by Browns tailback Ernest Byron against those same Broncos the following year. The Browns hadn't even been to the playoffs since 2002 before making it as an 11-5 wild card in 2020 to end the longest drought in the league. As the week leading up to the game at Heinz Field progressed, it appeared Cleveland was heading for more postseason misery. Head coach Kevin Stefanski, I'm sure I killed that name, and all-pro guard Joel Bitonio tested positive for COVID-19. The Browns were unable to practice for most of the week. Maybe it's not postseason you have to worry about. Just don't practice during the season. It looked just about Jesus. Here we go. Pete Cloutier. It looked just about everyone like the Browns were hurtling toward another very Cleveland end to the season with a quick exit at the hands of the team most hated rivals. Everyone, that is, except the Browns. A funny thing happened in Pittsburgh Sunday night. The Browns showed up. Cleveland quarterback Baker Mayfield played excellent mistake-free football. Running backs Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt blew up for 206 total yards. An optimistic Cleveland defense forced 5 turnovers. And the Browns rode a 28-0 explosion in the first quarter to a 48-37 upset that sends Cleveland on to face the Kansas City Chiefs next week. I think this is great for the Browns, but I don't necessarily believe this is an upset. The last 3 games the Steelers played looked like they were Pop Warner. They just, I don't know. I was not shocked that the Browns won. What do you think, Hank?
It was a 1-2 punch of Chubb and the other running back there,
Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, so that was a 1-2 punch. I mean, they could not stop them in the run. And earlier in the game they were, but I mean, with everything that they had, the miscues, the turnovers and stuff, that killed them. That was just, I mean, I didn't really watch all the game, but it was just the miscues.
Oh, totally. Well, also what I think, but the reason I feel like it is an upset, Herb, is because like what you said before, like it's the first time the Browns have been in the playoffs since what we said, 95. It was 95?
See, no, hold on a minute. Let me read back up here. The Browns hadn't been into the playoffs since 2002.
2002? Okay, when was the last playoff win, though?
I think that was 1995.
1995. They haven't won a playoff game since 1995. And the Browns were decimated by like COVID and injury. They were playing a lot of I think not even rookies, but a lot of backups on defense.
Mm-hmm.
And again, they didn't have their head coach. Like that's why I feel like it was still kind of an upset, because the Steelers, yeah, they look like crap towards the end of the season, but it's still the Cleveland Browns going against the Pittsburgh Steelers, who have been a successful playoff team, against the quarterback that's won a Super Bowl, a head coach that's a Hall of Fame head coach. So like I would still consider it an upset, but no, I'm with you. I really wasn't surprised that the Browns won. Like I was picking the Browns. I thought the Browns were going to win because I thought the Steelers were crazy soft.
I took the Browns. I picked them. I said they were going to be, and the thing is that the media hyped it up to be an upset. The media, everybody, everyone
kind of is because you can't. There's no way you could I understand that they looked good, they looked decent all year, but there's no way that you could fully buy into the Browns because it's the Browns. It's still there's still the same team that falls all over themselves, like almost seemingly every year. They're like with the longest list of starting quarterbacks that they've ever had in probably the league. So. I still would consider it an upset, even though that the Steelers looked like absolute garbage to end the season.
But everybody came out. All the media outlets were talking. All they were saying was that the first game before this week that they played them, it's because they didn't have their starters in. They didn't wait till Big Ben's in there. Wait till this one's in there. Wait till that. So they didn't play their starters. Right. So I mean, I'm telling you right now. I watched the game the week before that, and they were clicking on all cylinders. The Browns were clicking, and it didn't stop because they went from one. You play the same team twice, week back to back. You're going to come out with more stuff. You're not going to show them everything. And in the beginning, they were showing them everything, and they didn't really have to because of the turnovers. They just had to play football and just outscore them. If they scored, they had to go and checkmate with it.
Well, going into the first, when the first quarter ended, the Browns had scored per NBC's telecast the most points of any team in modern NFL postseason history in the opening period. It was 28-0. Jaws across America were dropping. 70 and approximately 73% of the city of Cleveland had fainted. So, I guess it's I don't know. I just was not expecting the Steelers. I knew it. I just. Whether it's the Browns, whoever it may have been, just the way the Steelers have been coming through, they could not gel well. They could not find their groove. I mean, they played better than okay in the beginning. They were the only undefeated team for how long?
Yeah, but they played nobody. Like they played garbage.
I understand that, but you can't take away the undefeated season or undefeated games. I get that they play like crap, but again, we're talking about the Browns.
I don't mean that they played like crap. What I'm saying is when they were racking up the wins in that undefeated season,
they played easy.
They were playing garbage teams. Like they weren't playing anybody that was that impressive that they beat. And then they lost to the Washington football team, and that's what showed their weaknesses. And that's what let people get to them.
On a 3-game losing streak.
Yeah, exactly. They were absolute trash after that. They looked like paper champions.
Looked like somebody grabbed their balls and threw them in somebody grabbed their balls and threw them in a trash can and said, "See you guys later. You're done for the season." I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, congrats to the Browns. Let's see if they make it into the next round.
I mean, they could beat I wouldn't be surprised if the Browns caught fire and just made it a game against the Chiefs. Do I think they're going to beat the Chiefs? No, because I don't think the Browns are going to beat Pat Mahomes and Tyreek Hill. But
I think there's something to be said that the Browns haven't been in it since 2002, haven't won one since 1995. Technically, they have nothing to lose. So they're going to pull out all the stops. They're going to pull out everything. They have nothing to lose. They're going in going, we're going to lose. I mean, we're just going to play the game and whatever. We'll pull everything out of our bag of tricks and we're just going to go. I think that makes them very deadly because they really I didn't expect to be here. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure everybody. What's that?
They need Kurt Russell to suit up as Herb Brooks and go do that speech for Miracle in the locker room.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but you know what? Baker Mayfield got drugged through the mud last year. Every time that they would lose, it was Baker Mayfield's fault. It was this, it was that. He's a man possessed right now. And then when they bring in Nick Chubb and then they bring Hunt in, they get him as free agency and then they wind up turning around. I mean, what if they had Odell Beckham still there?
Yeah.
It'd be crazy. I mean, they'd be pretty unstoppable. I mean, it is kind of nuts, but I think they're playing with the problem is they're playing with a patchwork offensive line right now because I'm pretty sure a lot of those guys are filling in for people that are either hurt or have COVID, so.
Right.
It's going to be interesting to see how they can handle the Chiefs just because of how good the Kansas City Chiefs actually are. But the Chiefs have looked beatable all this year. They haven't looked like they did last year. So, and I don't really believe that they're necessarily going to be able to repeat, but we'll see.
We'll never know. Like I said, I mean,
I think the Browns could take them. They're going to make it a game. It's going to be a fun game to watch.
I think so. I agree. I think all the games are still going to be fun because, as Hank said, look who's in the playoffs. Some of these people are like, there's no way hell some of these teams should be in the playoffs, So let's segue right in. Since we were talking about history, it is got to keep it under 8 seconds before YouTube flags me. It is the Today in Sports History with Mr. Tom Greer. Today in Sports History is brought to you by Chase Sports Complex. We talked a little bit about what they're offering in the beginning, as Hank is the manager there. Again, they have been a sponsor of ours pretty much almost from day one. So we were talking Oculus, which I think is really cool. I think that's something nobody in our local upstate area has. So I think that'll be pretty cool. But what else are you guys offering, Hank? And what are the hours that the Chase Sports Complex has?
We're open 2 to 9 Monday through Friday, and then on the weekends we're open. We get there 8 in the morning until about 8 o'clock at night. With everything that's going on around here, the collapse of the dome, a lot of teams are scrambling to get in for practices and workouts and things like that. So we're trying to fit everybody in where we can. It's just scheduling, making sure that everybody's got time, and then keeping everybody safe. So now what we've done is we've actually adjusted some of the schedules so that the teams aren't, when one team comes in, the other team's going out the emergency exit. So they're not crossing over each other, and try to get a 15-minute window in there so that there's no real crossover with the teams. And everybody's been compliant to it. I mean, that's the great thing about it. I mean, you think about it, the kids, it's really tough on the kids because they're trying to play sports and things like that. They don't really understand all the stuff that's going on. They're just trying to comply with it, wearing their masks, washing their hands, social distancing, and all that stuff. So I got to say kudos to the kids that, the athletes that are coming in from all age groups. I mean, we're talking, 7 and 8-year-old kids to high school. And we've got some college students that come home and, they want to come in and throw and hit and stuff like that. So they come in during the day when there's nobody there, and then they do their thing. So it's
nice.
It's fun. It's definitely different.
If you would need more information or contact Chase Sports, go over to chasesportscomplex.com on their new website, and you'll probably end up talking to Hank eventually. So take it away with Today in Sports History, Mr. Tom Greer.
Okay, so Today in Sports History, back in 1918, Montreal Canadiens center Joe Malone scores 5 goals in a 9-4 win over the Ottawa Senators to become the first 20-goal scorer in NHL history. Goes on to score 44 goals in that regular season, which is pretty amazing. 1966, Boston Celtics coach Red Auerbach records his 1,000th NBA career victory in a 114-102 win over the Los Angeles Lakers in Boston. 1988, Willie Stargell, the Pittsburgh Pirates, gets elected to the National Baseball Hall of Fame. In 1995, most infamously, the murder trial for O.J. Simpson begins in L.A., which was quite the spectacle. And finally, 2006, Mark Messier has his number 11 retired by the New York Rangers in Madison Square Garden. And, it really hurt me to have to end that with a Rangers one. But, I mean, I guess. Hockey season's back in a couple of days, boys. I can't wait.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Let's
go Islanders.
Start? When's cornhole
I don't know when sports needs to freeze again because of COVID, because of the new COVID.
Thank you, Mr. Tom Greer, and thank you, Chase Sports Complex, for sponsoring that segment. So we kind of hinted about this in the beginning of the show. If you heard me in the beginning of the break, a particular Eagle got his wings clipped. I think we kind of called this. I think we kind of did really hint on a lot about this in the beginning because of a particular call was made a few weeks ago by a particular team, the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, we thought that the team was that call might have been calling from the higher ups, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say I don't think so. The Eagles fired coach Doug Penderson on Monday, ending a partnership that delivered the first and only Super Bowl title in its city's history. Penderson was expected to remain as a coach despite a 4-11-1 season. That's right, despite a 4-11-1 finish the season, but multiple meetings with team owner Jeffrey Lurie over the past week left his boss unconvinced that Penderson had a sound vision for how to address the myriad issues facing the team. From navigating the Carson Wentz situation to fixing an offense that finished 26th in scoring, just 20.9 points per game, and 28th in passing yards, which was 207.9 yards per game in this past season. Lurie explained the decision to move on from Penderson during a news conference on Monday. Now, he did look kind of upset, but not really. I think I think he was done. My first allegiance is what will be the best for the Philadelphia Eagles and our fans for the next 3, 4, 5 years. It's not based on does someone deserve to hold their job or deserve to get fired. That's a different bar. It's not about did Doug deserve to be let go. No, he did not deserve to be let go. That's not where I'm coming from, and that's not the bar. And in the evaluation process. Now that kind of doesn't make any sense.
That doesn't make sense at all.
No, it doesn't make any sense at all. I'm not shocked by this. I'll read a little bit more in the article, but Tom, what's your take on this? I mean, we kind of called this when we talked about that really bad call.
I'm kind of shocked though, only because like he's literally the quickest coach to ever be fired after winning a Super Bowl a couple of years ago. You know, like it was only what, like 3 years ago that happened.
Yes.
Right. Like, and then just immediately fired after a couple of bad seasons, you know, like it's not his fault that you decided to throw a whole bunch of money at Carson Wentz when he's been injured basically his entire career, you know? So, you know, I don't know. Like, I don't know what Doug Peterson is, just because the Eagles haven't looked great for the past few years since the Super Bowl. I mean, you could argue that the Super Bowl might have even been a little bit of a fluke, you know, so I could tell you he's probably going to be the Jets head coach. He might be, you know, the next guy that the Jets kind of bring in and hire, but I'm surprised. I'm surprised that they decided to just cut ties with him as quickly as they did.
What do you think, Hank?
I still strongly believe that it was a front office move.
Had to have been.
Because the way that Laurie came out and the way he talked and everything, it's not.
What coach is going to play to lose? Like what? Like we said last week, all we ever hear is that coaches and players want to win games. Ownership and the front office wants to tank. Those are the ones that want to tank for the draft picks. Like, unless like they all had to be in on it. Like, you know, this couldn't be Doug Peterson unless Doug Peterson's just like that and he was thinking about draft picks or something like that. You know,
but a coach isn't going to come out and. A coach is not going to come out and say in the public eye and say, "Hey, this is what happened."
Yeah.
So I think there was a mutual agreement or disagreement, whatever you want to call it. Where I don't think Wentz is his guy. I've seen that watching the Eagles games and things like that. I'm not an Eagles fan, but I'm a football fan. I just think that he's not the guy that Peterson wanted in there. And, you know, he went and took Foles and they won a Super Bowl with Foles. And then they wound up getting rid of Foles.
Well, they didn't have a good season with Carson either, but you know what?
But you know what? Hurts right now is going to, I firmly believe that you're going to see Jalen Hurts is going to be starting quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles next year over Wentz.
Probably.
Wentz is going to be traded. I bet you that's going to be the next surprise with the Eagles. You're going to see him. Some deal is going to be made where he's going to get traded.
Well, he's asking for a trade. He doesn't want to be a backup. He said he's not going to be a backup to Jalen Hurts. He wants out if that's going to be what happens. And I mean, what else are they going to do? Like, I don't, again, what are you going to get for that? Because of how much money he's making, like nobody's going to want to trade a whole lot for Carson Wentz at that price tag coming off of a few seasons where he's been hurt and subpar. You know, he was one of the worst literally one of the worst quarterbacks in the league this year. I think the only person that was worse than him was Sam Darnold, you know, and that Jets team won 2 games. So, I mean, let's be real now. Okay, Carson Wentz was supposed to be like the second coming of Aaron Rodgers or something like that. And he was the second worst quarterback in the league this year. So, you know, I don't know. But again, back to Doug Peterson, after 3 bad years coming off of a Super Bowl, I'm still surprised that he just got canned that they just decided to can him right away. You know, I'm a little shocked.
I think, like I said, I think it's all got to do with the front end.
Yeah, they probably did. He was probably the scapegoat. And instead of the organization admitting that they were just tanking to get the 6th overall pick, they just said, "Well, somebody's got to bite the bullet on this one. Sorry, Dougie, you're out."
And here's a nice severance package. Welcome, Jack Celeste, owner of Coach's Corner.
He's a new member of the Bills Mafia, from what I heard.
Yeah, I hear. To finalize with this,
did he jump through a table? Did he baptize himself into the Bills fandom and jump through a flaming table?
Well, I think he's been baptized by a lot of people around here. People are he's getting beat up on social media.
Poor Colts. Anyway, Laurie also was not sold on Peterson's plans regarding his coaching staff. When we kind of admitted that we kind of hinted on that before. Peterson pushing for the passing game coordinator quarterbacks coach Press Taylor to be elevated to offensive coordinator rather than bringing in a more established candidate. The issue of how to fill the void left by defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz, who plans to take the year off from football in 2021, was also unresolved. So there's already been changes that he's been making here, and they're just not happy with it. It does say Peterson's firing significantly increases the chances of Wentz staying in Philadelphia. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I'm just not as shocked. I'm just not as shocked because I just feel that he was a scapegoat. Something had to be done. And obviously, with his other whatever's been happening behind closed doors, this was the logical move for the team to make. They probably pat him on the back, gave him a fake Rolex and a nice little severance package, and said, "Thanks, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out."
I want to see who they're going to go after as their head coach. That's going to be the next. It's
going to be interesting. I mean, I wonder how attractive the Philly job really is. You know, you got the 6th overall pick. Are they going to take a quarterback with that pick, or are they going to take something to help Jalen Hurts out? It's going to be interesting, you know.
And are you going to be forced? And that's the thing. If Wentz stays there, are you going to be the coach that's going to be forced to have Wentz on your roster and play him?
I think ultimately they're gonna trade Wentz. Like, I mean, I guess maybe they hire a coach that thinks he can fix him. You know, because I know there are still people that think Carson Wentz can play. Just this time with the Eagles is over. Maybe the Eagles hire somebody that's like, no, I can fix Carson Wentz. Don't worry.
Belichick.
But yeah, I mean. Wouldn't put it past them. But I mean, because again, the Eagles might have to basically give Carson Wentz away because after coming off those 2 seasons, nobody's going to want to pay Carson Wentz. Nobody's going to want to give up a lot for Carson Wentz if they have to pay him the money that's in the deal. You know, because it's a lot of money.
That's true. Very true. Well, let's since we were what about Cam Newton? No.
I think Cam, I don't know
for a while either. So
I don't know where Cam's going to go, bud, because he looked like trash this year. He's not going to be with the Pats next year.
I think Belichick's going to keep him. I think he's going to keep him.
He's not. No, it is widely being reported that Cam is probably out with the Pats. Yeah,
probably out. It's not confirmed yet.
Yeah,
I'll wait until I see it in writing.
More than it's almost definitely he's not coming back with the Pats next year.
Where's he going to go? Put him on the Jets. They need all the.
Because who would want Cam after this year?
The Jets wants anybody that's better than what they had.
Well, I mean, they'd probably keep Sam Darnold over signing Cam Newton.
So, as I stated in the beginning of the show, we put out a little questionnaire for our fans to answer, something a little fun. We usually try to do a non-sports thing, but I thought because of the way that the NFL season, the playoff season this week, all the news and stuff, I figured it'd be kind of neat to kind of go off the rails a little bit. And I put out a little questionnaire for our fans that listened on Instagram. Looked at on Instagram and Facebook. Who do you think was the best sports movie coach? Now, we didn't get a lot. Usually my questionnaires, I like to keep up for over a day because it's just the way Facebook works and how people see it. But I really wanted to do it this morning and just kind of get them out there. Before we go, right off the bat, you heard Herb Brooks, played by Kurt Russell, playing his famous speech, his hockey speech. 2 people picked him. Reggie Dunlop, Slapshot, another hockey movie, played by Paul Newman. And Patches from Dodgeball made the list.
It's got to be. That's the A1.
And Buttermaker's probably not even on there.
Well, I will tell you the list. I'll tell you the list wasn't. I got the top 20 movies after the fact. So Sean Murphy says Emilio Estevez. Okay, yep, that'll work too. I like that.
Bombay.
Yep, I like that. Tom, so I'm assuming because you made a comment, you made a gift comment that it was going to be Herb. So that is your movie
No, that's
coach?
actually not my pick. That's actually not my movie coach.
Okay.
It's Patches O'Houlihan. Patches O'Houlihan is easily a movie coach, dude. That is.
If you can dodge wrenches, you can dodge a ball.
Exactly. My friend put that as a GIF in the thing that I shared on Facebook today, and I was like, "That's the answer. That is the answer. It's Patches O'Houlihan."
Nice, Hank. Who is your pick?
Mine is Morris Buttermaker.
Oh my God, the Bad News Bears.
Bad News Bears. Who else drinks a beer in the dugout with their kids?
The original 1976. You know what? We talk about movies and whatnot not on the sports edition, and Tom and I and Hank as well, we're pop culture guys. There's very few movies that hold up in age as far as years. I don't think there's correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think whether it's a mediocre sports movie or a great sports movie, I think they all still hold up, no matter if it's 1976. Your kids, you're playing baseball. You're playing baseball as a kid when you're a little kid, whether it was 1976 or if it was what's his name who redid it in the late 90s.
Oh, Billy Joe Thornton.
Yeah, Billy Bob.
Whatever there.
you still reminisce and it still kind of holds up. Maybe the dialogue's a little different, but I really think everything holds up no matter if it's because most sports movies are period pieces, maybe minus like Any Given Sunday. I mean, obviously when Miracle, we playing the Russians, but I think they all hold up and I think they still true hold today. What do you think, Tom?
I totally agree with you. Like, I think of all the movies, like a good sports movie, it'll stand the test of time because like that's the beauty of sports is like the actual is the games that you get to watch every week, all like the live stuff, but it's also like the history of the game and stuff like that, which makes it so much fun. So it's really cool to see, like, especially when you watch older movies, like how the sport was back then, like when you're watching The Natural and stuff like that, or you're watching like Field of Dreams. Like Field of Dreams is going to be a timeless movie. Like that'll never not be an amazing movie. The Sandlot specifically, like you get to see like that time period for a movie. I'm totally with you. Like baseball movies, sports movies in general will always stand the test of time.
So, okay, you gave us your coaches, and before we get into the top 20 movies, is your coach also your favorite movie?
Oh, my favorite sports movie? No, it's not my favorite sports movie.
What would be your favorite sports movie?
The Sandlot.
Okay, nice. That's a good pick.
My favorite sports movie.
The Longest Yard.
The original one?
The original Longest Yard.
With Burt Reynolds?
Yeah.
Yes.
And
okay,
Nate
there you go.
Scarborough.
Yes. All right, gentlemen, we're going to put you to the poll now. And this is not from Ranker, so I can't tell you how many people picked or didn't pick, but it's the top 20. Obviously, 20 is the lowest, 1 is the highest. And since the site is kind of long, who won last week? Did
Hank did.
Oh no, Hank wasn't here for that. Tom, you won last week because you were up against the fan. Remember, it was you and Tracy. Hank couldn't make the first.
We did the poll before.
No, you remember we did the second poll.
Yeah. Okay, fine. So Hank won that one. Okay. So Hank, do you want to go first, or do you want Tom to go?
We're doing a top 20 sports movies.
Yep.
Oh.
You want to go first, or do you want to let Tom go?
If it's in the top 20, I mean, I hate saying it, it's got to be Miracle's got to be in there somewhere.
God damn it!
I knew. Look at that. He took that from you. I knew that was going to happen, and guess what?
What? Really? Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Trust me. This. Let me. I don't have a piece of paper. Hold on. I got to write this down. All right, Tom.
All right.
Tom, you think about it while I write this down.
Sports movies. Bull Durham.
Oh, that's a good one.
Bull Durham is number. Sure, my site freezes up. Bull Durham is number. I know it's in here. Come on. It is number 19.
19. Oh, okay. So I was just by the skin of my teeth. I was in that one. Okay.
Yes, you were by the skin of your teeth. Hank?
Space Jam.
Ooh, I just got an awesome new Space Jam shirt.
Are you Doug Peterson? Are you trying to lose this game? Because you're failing miserably.
How are those two not on there?
Field of Dreams. That's probably not on there. Oh, really? Okay.
Yep.
Let's go.
I'll tell you the rundown afterwards. Keep going.
That's two
Hank?
baseball movies back to back.
Yeah. Hank?
I got to go with Longest Yard.
I need some music for this. This list is huge.
It's got to be on there. Longest Yard is a great movie. Wow. Okay.
Sorry.
All right. You know what?
Stay with what you know. What? Stay with what you know, Tom. Stay with what you know.
The Sandlot?
No.
No. Damn it. All right.
Oh my God. North Dallas 40. Seeing how I'm losing, I'm going to just go on a limb.
What is it?
North Dallas 40.
Never heard of it. that
You
straight
never
to
heard of North
DVD?
California?
No, Sean, you're not playing. Well, Sean, you can play along if you want in this one, but yeah.
The Natural?
I'm sorry, I need some music as I'm scrolling.
What? Oh, all right. All right.
All right. I'll even one more time, Hank. We'll go in one more round. Go ahead, Hank.
The Water Boy.
That's a good one. That's
Hank's on the board.
It's got to be there. Got to be there. All right. Sports move. You know what? Dodgeball. Let's go. Dodgeball's got to be on there. American classic. It's even in the name.
Yep.
Son of
All right, gentlemen. You are going to be pissed at this list. You thought you were pissed about the slushy? All right, gentlemen. Tom wins it.
Tom,
way to go, Tom.
Your item is on its way.
Sweet.
Ooh. What item? What item are you getting?
Can't tell you.
You getting
Can't tell you. Can't tell you.
Sure. Now we hold secrets among our podcast co-hosts. All right, here we go. All right. So number 20 was Paul Newman as Reggie Dunlop in Slapshot. Okay. So that again, great movie. Even if you're not a hockey fan, it was still a great movie. Still a great movie.
Facts. Big facts.
Number 19, obviously, Tom got this, was Bull Durham. And again, holds up very well. I love that movie. I think it's just great. Number 18 was Little Giants. Rick Moranis was played by Coach Danny O'Shea. Okay. Number 17 was Little Giants again. Ed O'Neill as Kevin O'Shea. So you got two coaches going on as they were going back to back. They were competing against each other. Number 16 was The Water Boy. Obviously, their coach was played by Henry Winkler, where I thought it was great. Number 15, A League of Their Own, Tom Hanks as Jimmy Dugan. And that's a great classic. That's a classic movie. I'm not a fan of this particular one, but again, it is what it is. Number 14 was The Mighty Ducks. It's just my personal. Obviously, the coach was
The Mighty Ducks. It's a great franchise.
Yeah, I don't know. I just never couldn't get into the movie personally.
They're doing a remake.
Yeah,
they're doing it again. Gordon Bombay's coming. Emilio Estevez is coming back.
Number 13, Dodgeball. Patches O'Halloran. Or is it O'Halloran? O'Hallahan. Played by Rip Torn. You can't dodge wrenches. You can't dodge balls. Of course. Oh, wait a minute. The Natural, Wilford Brimley as Pop, as the coach. That was another good movie. I love that movie. Varsity Blues was number 11. John Voight as Bud Kilmer. Oh, Major League. Yes, Major League. Yep. We're getting people coming in with that. That was on the list, which was a great movie. I get.
Major League's a fantastic movie.
I think Major League is on the list. No, it was not on the list. I'm sorry. I was thinking of another movie. I apologize. Next one up. Oh shit. I'm sorry, Hank. You did get on the list with another one. I apologize. This list was so long. Yes, it was The Longest Yard. I apologize. It was the original Burt Reynolds and Nate Scarborough. So you got 2. Tom got 3. I apologize. Now this one, it was number 9. Rocky 3. Not Rocky 1 or 2, but Rocky 3. Because Apollo Creed was played by Carl Weathers, was Rocky's coach. I guess
that was the one with Mr. T.
I guess I could call it a sports movie.
Yeah, that's Rocky? Mr. T.
Yes, I believe. No, yeah,
it's definitely a sports movie. It's a boxing movie.
I don't know. I know. I just didn't. But number 8, The Replacements. Gene Hackman as Jimmy McGinty, and I love that movie. I do love that movie. Number 7. Oh boy, Happy Gilmore.
I can't believe it.
Carl Weathers Chubbs. I guess I don't. Well, I don't consider golf a sport, and that's a whole different thing. I'm kidding. I just didn't think that was a good movie. Or it shouldn't have made the list.
What? You don't like Happy Gilmore?
No. I like it. I just didn't think it should make the sport the best sport.
That's fair enough.
Bull Durham, obviously Bull Durham. Number 6, played by Trey Wilson as Coach Joe Riggins. Number 5, Cool Runnings, played by John Candy as Coach Irv Blitzer. Another funny movie. Oh, and I'm sorry. Yes, that did make the list. SF. I apologize. Number 4 was Major League, or is Major League. James Gumman plays Lou Brown. What a awesome coach. He was just a pissant. I love that. I love that. I just love that movie.
When he comes in with the owner's cardboard cutout and takes his clothing out.
Yes, every time they win a game. Yes. Number 3, one of my all-time favorites, Any Given Sunday, Al Pacino playing Tony D'Amato. And we played the clip in the beginning of his speech. Great movie. I don't know. Probably my all-time favorite. Number 2, Rocky 1. Mickey Goldmill, played by Burgess Meredith. Great movie. Great. Now this one is a tie for first place. Hoosiers. Gene Hackman as he plays Norman Dale. A great movie. An amazing movie. Take a wild guess. Think way outside the box on this one, gentlemen. Give me your pick. Who do you think is tied?
For the number 1 movie?
And when I say think outside the box, really, really, really think outside the box.
Geez. I'm gonna say I have a absolutely ridiculous answer. That's definitely not it. So I don't want to say it.
So say
it's,
it.
Like
it's not
Mike.
for the win. It's not for the win. What's
yeah, okay.
that?
Like Mike, the little Bow Wow movie where he wants to be Michael Jordan.
Nope.
Talladega Nights.
Not Talladega Nights.
Talladega Nights.
Yeah.
Do you have a guess, Hank?
I gotta think outside the box. Jeez, I don't know. I was thinking outside the box in the thing. I was thinking of Space Jam and no, not the Karate Kid. Karate Kid?
It's tied for number 1 sports movie.
All right. Well, that's crazy.
I told you to think outside the box on this. I told you. But again, like I said, I can't. It doesn't say how many people made this poll or made this list, so we can't be mad. Maybe it was just one guy.
Many people made those lists, naturally, as always, are wrong.
Any Given Sunday, again, one of my favorites. What is the crap? What is the one? Is it no, it's not Varsity. Is it Varsity Blues?
Yeah, Varsity Blues.
That's the one where it's the football, Varsity Blues. It's the team when they're in Texas. Yes. That's right. Where the kid's like, I give you a motherfucking 10 when they're in the strip club. That one is another favorite of mine.
I just can't believe that the Herb Brooks Miracle Story is not in the top 20.
I agree. What about Rudy?
Right. I mean, Rudy's not in there. Yeah, but still, it's
Rudy's
not
an ant movie.
Really?
It's not even historically accurate.
Listen to you. Yeah, because all movies are real, Tom.
hey, Miracle was. We really did beat the Russians.
I know. I'm kidding. Well,
I'm trying to think.
Major League's not real. Bull Durham's not real.
That's fair. Well, Rudy was loosely based on reality. They just fudged it a little bit.
Yeah, they have what is it? Creative license.
Yeah, exactly. To change real life.
And I can't believe that Happy Gilmore is in there, but Waterboy's not.
No, Waterboy was in there. He said
Waterboy's in there. I gave that to you.
Oh.
Or whoever picked it, I gave it to, yeah.
No, it's Hank
Waterboy's definitely in there. Henry Winkler, he was number 16 or 17. Yeah, definitely. So I thought that was fun. Again, Tom won that one, so Tom's still in the lead.
No, it's 1-1.
We're tied. No, we're tied. 1-1.
Oh, we're starting from scratch, are we?
Starting from scratch, yeah.
A new year.
Yeah. Who makes these rules? Oh, they're me. Sorry. Okay, so you're tied 1-1. Actually, no. Tom. Actually, you're 2-1, Tom, because you won against the fan poll too.
Well, I can't take. Well, that would I can't take that win though because Hank wasn't here for it. So I can't take a win over Hank
because of technical issues.
Exactly.
Yes, you had technical issues.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, thank you so much for joining us on the Tuesday edition of Today We DOW, the sports edition. Hopefully you guys had some fun. And like I said last week, we're going to try doing some more of those type of polls and fun with fans and try to have you involved. Yes, I will tell the fans if you are going to be involved in a poll because we really try to not have you lash out in your comments to give the guys answers. We want to try to keep it as honest as possible. But as we go further into the year, we'll probably be doing stuff. We still got some body armor swag to give away. We got some new some Earplug podcast stuff to be that'll be coming in. We got some pins, stickers, and some little tchotchke stuff that we'll be giving away in little gift bags. And who knows, maybe more stuff will come down the road as we go further. Again, everybody, thank you so much. Any last words, Tom, before we go?
Yeah, 2 more days. Islanders kick off the season. Let's go Islanders.
Sweet. Mr. Hank?
Go Pack, go.
Go Pack, go. On that note, we'll see you guys next Tuesday. See you next Tuesday.
Hello, I'm Baker Mayfield.
I'm Anthony Rizzo.
This has been an Earplug Podcast presentation. Found on earplugpodcast.com, iTunes, SoundCloud, and wherever your favorite podcasts are found.